Good morning and welcome to the program. The program is the Focus Point, and today on the program we have a guest, and it's no any other person but Major Agbo, the national chairman of New Nigerians People's Party. So you are welcome on the program.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Let me start by saying the present government has three notable policy thrusts of this administration, which are fighting corruption, insecurity, and responding the economy of the country.
That's a very interesting question. Of course, we're all Nigerians. You can see the situation on ground is worrisome. These are clear indications that in the direction of insecurity, it appears as if not much has been achieved. Where the challenges are, we still do not know. Whether the problem is with the leadership of the security agencies, whether the problem is with the presidency itself, who appoints these leaders of security agencies, or whether the problems is with us as Nigerians, we are yet to find out. But as you can see, no minute passes without one or two Nigerians being killed. And if you have that kind of situation, ongoing for a long time, it is disastrous for us as a country. And they still have another 3 years and let us see how it goes. But I can tell you that for the next 3.5 years or thereabout, if it continues this way, then I'm afraid if this country will continue to remain as one and united. I'm worried about it naturally as a Nigerian. Then on the other two issues you mentioned, the economy, no economy thrives in an environment of chaos. Once you have an environment that works, naturally the economy will thrive. But if you have an environment that is turbulent like we have now, insecurity here and there, you don't expect anybody, any serious investor to come and invest this money in an environment that is not sure of. And once there are no investments, definitely the economy will continue to suffer, because our economy cannot operate in isolation. It has to be an interplay of activities, both from the government sector, the private sector, and majorly from external investors. But under the circumstances we found ourselves, you don't expect this economy to be better than what it is now, because nobody will be interested in coming to put his money where he's not sure of what would happen to it in the next 10 minutes.
What about the corruption? What do you raise?
Then for corruption, we've seen pockets of arrests, a few convictions, and I can tell you that it's not more than what the government they took out of power achieved, because under that government too, at least we were seeing people being convicted, sent to prison. It was under them that people that hitherto were untouchable and all of that, not to even, if core civil servants will be deeply involved in it, then what will you say about political appointees who know that they are just in there and after a while they are going? But if career civil servants are deeply, grounded on these these corruption challenges, then I think we are not making any headway. So, because I haven't seen any serious thing happening in that direction. We have had pockets of people around the corridors of power. Investigations have been conducted on them, facts established, but because these people are in power, the government appears not to be bothered because they're in power. But in countries where corruption is confronted head-on, it doesn't matter how prime your position at that moment is. We've seen sitting presidents convicted. Yeah, we've also seen ministers. I think recently, just about 2 months ago, a whole minister for finance in Kenya was relieved of his appointment and tried, and as I talk to you now, he's being held. So why are we not seeing that happening in Nigeria?
Just recently, the EFCC said they're going to set up a court that they will be tried those who are being found guilty. If not so, using the other judiciary, it will be impossible. Do you agree with them that they should set up a commission of their own, a court of their own to try this?
The first question is, the people they've taken to the conventional courts, how many of them, or how many of such cases have they lost under questionable circumstances? I've had so many courts complain that the evidences brought forward by EFCC are not strong enough to be used in convicting anybody. I get what I'm talking about. So if you go to court with an evidence that is watery, what do you expect the courts to do? So if it is not getting their own special court that is the issue, as a party leader, for instance, we have over time canvassed for a special court to try election offenders. But the question again is, how many election offenders have been presented even before the conventional courts, before we are now talking? So generally, in this country, in Africa generally, especially in Nigeria, once people want to make you see reasons why they are not performing, they will tell you, we're handicapped from this direction. If it had been this way, we would have performed better and all of that. I think that's what I'm seeing from them.
The federal government planned to recruit more soldiers. Did you think this will solve the issue of insecurity?
Well, you see, in this country, we seem not to understand some of these things. The military, for instance, is not trained to deal with internal security challenges. The military is trained to curb external aggression from outside. So their job purely is to defend the territorial, sovereignty of the nation. Soldiers, is there anybody fighting us from outside? Even these Boko Haram insurgents, yes, we agree that they are coming from outside, but they are coming through just one direction. I remember making a suggestion during the PDP government that what we needed across the border lines of the Northeast were CCTVs. I've gone to Mexico, I've gone to Northern America, the border between them and the Latin America, the Brazil and all of that. And what they use there are the CCTVs that are able to pick somebody who is crossing into your territory, even from as much as 50 kilometers. We have so much money in this country. What happens to the money we do not know? Go and get these things. These roads where you see policemen and all of that, putting logs of woods on the road, it's not done in any civil life. Even in other smaller African countries like Kenya, you don't see such things. You can mount these same CCTVs on the roads. They are mounted across the road. Nobody knows its location. It sends information into a central server somewhere. If you are driving a car, for instance, and you have any explosive device in it, it picks it. Nobody will be there to say, stop, stop, stop. It picks it, sends the information to a server somewhere, and you are intercepted somewhere in front. It's working in other countries. It's not working here. Okay. What we need is more policemen, more civil defense operatives, and more DSS officials. How many DSS officials do we have in this country? This is purely an intelligence gathering organization that operates completely undercover. What you need is to strengthen them, increase their size, make them available even in the most remote areas to gather intelligence for you. I've been a security officer before, I know what I'm talking about. You can operate anywhere, nobody will know exactly what your identity is. You can operate anywhere, you gather intelligence. You'll be able to nip these crimes on the board.
The National Executive Chairman of NCC said what Nigeria need now is they should get emergency communication center where this insecurity will be tracked. Do you agree with him on that emergency communication center?
In Nigeria, we have very beautiful ideas. The problem we have is how do we follow up on these ideas? These are all borrowed ideas. If you ask him now, he will tell you he has gone to Mexico, he has gone to Kenya, he has gone to South Africa, and the thing is working. Yes, it is workable. But the truth is that the willpower to make these things work is what is lacking. This same NCC person you are talking about, at a point they said, okay, all lines must be registered. Yes. For any telephone line to be used in this country, it must be registered. And there is a central database somewhere. Yes. So if I make a call from my line, they should know who is making the call and where the person is. Is he working now? These kidnappers, are they not using telephones? Why are they not catching them? Ask yourself, you are a Nigerian. Yes. Are these kidnappers not using telephones? These Boko Haram operatives, are they not using telephones? They told us then that any line that is not registered will be blocked. So why are those lines still operational? All these lines, they already have a tracker. Your own GSM line, as I'm talking to you now, is tracked. Yes. So if you make a call, you're in my office now, we're in your studio. Yes. If you make a call from here, they should know that this is where you are making the call from. Why are they not using that? They now want to create another thing. Like Fela said, they keep creating jobs and creating other things that are not what we need. Look, deliver any result to us. You are now telling us you want to introduce another one. You are telling Nigerian taxpayers that they don't know what they are doing. One very unfortunate thing that has befallen us in this country is that the taxpayers are very docile. They are not asking questions. In other countries, you pay tax, and you are a private person, you are paying tax, you wouldn't know. You are paying tax. The civil servants are paying what you call payee. They are paying tax. All this money goes back into somewhere, and it is expected that this money should be used in a country or in an environment that explains to its people. But here we are in the country, taxes are being raised. You can see that even from January, we are now paying for more things than we paid for even in 2019. From the 1st of January, there's a new tax regime. So now you have to pay for virtually everything. Even for sitting on my chair here now, you have to pay. But where are these monies going to? Nobody understands. So what we need is a leadership that is responsive to the needs of the people. A leadership that is accountable. Because as far as I am concerned, since inception of this country, we haven't had any leadership that is accountable to the people. So we don't even understand this democracy that we're practicing. Because democracy in advanced climes is government of the people. You are only, because everybody cannot be the president. The people will say, okay, we'll make you president. It's not to say that you're on top of them. Rather, they're on top of you. Because they tell you what to do. If they pay tax, in South Africa you pay tax, you don't see potholes anywhere. I don't know if you've gone to South Africa, that is just close by here. You don't see pot even in Kenya here.
The program, we would like you to give a message to the country, especially in the...
Have overstayed in service, go and try fresh hands. Okay. Yeah, and that's what I mean. And to Nigerians, well, the trying times, natural. The country is evolving. The only thing is that our leaders they don't allow us to evolve as fast as we should. You understand? Nigerians are eager to move on because we are seeing what is happening even in other smaller African countries. We are eager to move on, but each time we have a leadership in place, the leadership is either not responding quickly to what the yearnings of Nigerians or something like that. So, but as it is now, it is a challenge that has come upon us, and we will not, because of that, and run this country down. We will work together, because every Nigerian, security is a complete whole. Once it is perforated, there's a problem. So every Nigerian has a role to play in taking care of these challenges. For you and I, if you see something in your environment that you're not sure of, you say it, so that it can be probed. If I see something, just like I'm talking about Lafia Makodi Road now, I'm saying something that is not correct. Because instead of these guys to look for weapons, look for arms, is to just collect money and give change and the person goes. So if you see anything that is wrong, like in the case of this Lafia Makodi Road and what the policemen are doing, you say it. That's the only way we can make this thing work. We must not lose faith in our nation. It is our nation. We are Nigerians. We have no other country than it. We must protect it and make it work. We should not, give in to this pressure of these drums of war that these people who have sent all their families out of the country are beating. Because when it happens, for you and I that do not have the money to run out of this country with our families, we will be the ones that will be worst hit. Look at these neighboring small countries. How many of these countries even have the land space to take refugees from Nigeria? Not to talk of facilities, not to talk of water or light or houses. We must protect this country. Instead of them dislodging us, we will dislodge them. The leaders. Instead of them creating problems for us, we will send them away. And so, as we move towards 2023, as a party leader, naturally in this country, I've seen tremendous improvement in the thinking of our electorates. We have said, okay, we must do electronic voting. It has been introduced piecemeal. It has checked this outright writing of results. They don't write results anymore. But they have brought a more sophisticated arrangement now, where they move to the polling units with their monies, large chunks of money, to share to people, to buy votes. We will still get over that. We'll get over that. Because by the time it gets to a level where Nigerians are able to vote electronically, I'm telling you that this vote buying thing will reduce. And we are also appealing, as party leaders, we've been appealing to Nigerians and we're still appealing. When you sell your vote for 500, for 1,000, because you have this belief that if they go, they don't come again. When you do that, and the water, ordinary boreholes, roads, schools that you should have, for the next 4 years. They don't deliver them to you as dividends of democracy. They come, they canvass for these things, they nominate their contractors. These contractors don't do anything. They come, take government funds, they don't deliver these dividends of democracy. Nigerians should begin to look at the quality of the people that they elect. As we move towards 2023, it's not just to say he has brought money, let's share money and send him back to Abuja. No. They should send people that live with them, that understands their challenges, and that will not abandon them. Not these Abuja politicians who go to the polling units to go and use money to buy these votes. That's my honest advice for Nigerians. Then, the thing is taking shape. Gradually, we're moving towards a situation where the state independent electoral commissions are now gradually giving way. If what is going on in the National Assembly is anything to go by. We have been at the forefront of that struggle. That the only way this democracy would make any sense and become more competitive, which is the true spirit of democracy, is for the grassroots to be strengthened. And the only way you can strengthen the grassroots is to stop this one-way thing. In a PDP state, it is PDP across all the local councils. In the APC state, it is APC across all the local councils. The remaining 90-something political parties, even though they have grassroots followership, are unable to deliver under the circumstances that we have found ourselves. I will advise Nigerians to continue to press until these CX are no longer existing. When the CX are no longer existing, government will move closer to the people. The people will have the opportunity to elect who they want at the local level. If the local level is not strong, the top can never be strong. So these deficiencies you are seeing in Abuja here is because our democracy is the other way around. The top is seen to be stronger than the grassroots. But in good democracies, in other climes, what they do, in Britain, in US and other places, what they do is to ensure that democracy is practiced better and more at a smaller level. When that happens, all the political parties will have a level playing field to compete. And I'll be able to deliver my local government because I know that my party has very beautiful manifestos that the people will be interested in. You'll be able to deliver your local government. It will no longer be APC all through, PDP all through. So Nigerians must continue to work towards that direction. Above all, in summary, we must protect our country. We have no other country than Nigeria. Okay. If anything happens to it, all of us are losers.
Okay, thank you very much for coming on the program.
It's my pleasure.
We expect to have more of you, and I remain your host, Titus Shima. Goodbye.
Thank you.